What if rejection is not a verdict on your worth, but simply a doorway closing, forcing you to turn and face the path you were always meant to walk? A real man is not defined by the doors that close, but by how he stands after they do. How a Real Man Stands After Rejection, Stoicism, compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lesson 1. Unshaken Heartbreak and Resolve. Imagine a great ship at sea, its sails full, its course set for a distant harbor. Suddenly, and without warning, a colossal rogue wave rises from the depths and crashes over the deck. The ship is violently rocked, it groans under the immense pressure, and it takes on water. The crew is thrown about in chaos. This is the moment of heartbreak, the moment of raw, visceral rejection. The inner conflict is between two powerful forces: the undeniable, gut-wrenching pain of the impact and the absolute necessity of keeping the ship from sinking. The untrained sailor gives in to the first force. He is consumed by the shock, the chaos, and the water flooding the deck. He forgets his duty as a navigator and becomes just another drowning man. The problem with this response is that it allows the initial wave of pain to become a catastrophic event. By letting go of the wheel, by losing your resolve, you don't just experience the pain of the rejection, you allow it to sink your entire vessel, taking your self-respect, your purpose, and your direction down with it. The transformative solution, the first and most critical action of a Stoic captain, is to embrace the paradox of unshaken heartbreak and resolve. This is the ability to fully acknowledge and honor the immense pain of the wound, while simultaneously lashing yourself to the wheel of your own will. The core Stoic principle here is not the denial of emotion, but the refusal to be governed by it. The Stoics were not unfeeling robots. They knew that grief and pain are natural, human reactions to loss. Seneca wrote movingly about his own grief. The pain of rejection is a dispreferred indifferent. It is real, it hurts, but it has no power to touch your core character unless you allow it to. Your resolve, your commitment to your own virtue and purpose, is the deep, heavy keel of your ship. The wave can rock the deck, but it cannot capsize a vessel with a keel that deep. You can say to yourself, this pain is real, and it is immense, and in the very next breath, but my will to endure and to continue my journey is stronger. To practice this difficult but essential balance, you must give both the pain and your resolve their due. The first actionable step is to allow yourself a structured period to grieve. Give yourself a set amount of time, be it an hour, a day, or a weekend, to feel the pain fully, without judgment or shame. Write about it, talk to a trusted friend, listen to sad music. Let the wave wash over you. This honors the reality of your emotion. The second step at the end of that set period is to perform a ritual of resolve. This is a conscious decision to shift your focus. Stand up, wash your face, and write down your highest purpose, something that has nothing to do with the rejection. This could be a career goal, a fitness objective, or a commitment to your principles. The third step is to take one small, deliberate action toward that purpose. Send one email, do one set of push-ups, read one page of a book. This is the act of seizing the wheel again. The benefits of this approach are that you avoid the two great traps of heartbreak: suppression and despair. You do not pretend you are not hurt, which leads to festering wounds. And you do not allow your hurt to become your entire identity, which leads to a loss of self. You honor the pain of the wave, but you reaffirm the integrity of your ship. You develop a profound resilience, the strength of a captain who knows he can take a hit and not be sunk. You prove to yourself that your resolve is deeper than your pain. Your practice for this week is to simply acknowledge this concept. Accept that it is possible to feel deep pain and to be deeply resolved at the same time. They are not mutually exclusive. This understanding is the first step. Holding on to your resolve is the internal battle. But how you present yourself to the world in the aftermath of rejection is the external one. And it is just as important for your self-respect. Next, we will learn the art of silent strength after being told no. To continue this journey, please like this video and subscribe to Stoic Dominion. Lesson 2. Silent strength after no. Imagine a proud lion, the king of his domain, who has been defeated in a territorial battle by a stronger rival. He is wounded, his pride is stung, and he has been rejected by the pride he sought to lead. The weak lion would react in one of two ways. He might continue to snarl and roar from a distance, a noisy but powerless display of impotent rage, or he might slink away with his tail between his legs, projecting an energy of shame and defeat to all who see him. Both of these reactions are a broadcast of weakness. This is the inner conflict we face after a clear no. Our ego is wounded. Our instinct is to either lash out in anger, sending a bitter text talking badly about the person, or to collapse into visible self-pity, telegraphing our devastation to the world. The problem is that both of these reactions are a form of begging. The angry outburst is a plea. See how much you hurt me. You should regret this. The display of sadness is a plea. See how broken I am without you. You should feel sorry for me. Both are an attempt to get a reaction, to change the outcome, and in doing so, they sacrifice all our dignity and prove that the other person still holds immense power over our emotional state. The transformative solution, the second unbreakable habit, is to cultivate silent strength after nama. This is the discipline of meeting rejection not with a noisy display of emotion, but with a quiet, dignified, and impenetrable silence. The core Stoic principle here is the discipline of assent. The rejection is an external event. The story that it is a catastrophe that diminishes your worth is an internal judgment. The silent strength of a Stoic is his refusal to assent to that judgment. He feels the pain internally, as we discussed, but he makes the conscious choice not to validate the rejection by giving it a loud, emotional reaction. His silence is not a sign of weakness or suppression. It is a profound statement of power. It says, "Your decision is noted, but it does not have the power to break my composure. My inner world is my own, and you are no longer invited into it. My journey continues." This quiet dignity is far more powerful than any angry retort or sorrowful plea. To cultivate this silent strength, you must practice the art of the honorable retreat. The first actionable step is to make your last communication a clean and dignified one. There is no need for a long explanation or a final plea. A simple, "I understand. I wish you all the best," is the response of a king. It is calm, respectful, and final. After this, the second step is absolute silence. This means no follow-up texts, no checking their social media, no asking mutual friends about them. You must sever the connection completely to allow the emotional wound to heal without being constantly reopened. The third step is to channel your energy inward. The immense emotional energy that wants to be directed at them in the form of anger or sadness must be redirected into your own life. Focus on your work, your health, your purpose. Your silence toward them is fueled by a loud, productive conversation with yourself. The benefits of this silent strength are a massive preservation of your own dignity and self-respect. At a time when you feel most powerless, you are taking a powerful action of self-control. You refuse to give the other person the satisfaction of seeing you broken, which often creates a mysterious sense of respect and even regret in them. More importantly, you create the clean, quiet space necessary for your own healing and growth. You are not wasting your energy on a battle that is already over. You become the wounded lion who, instead of roaring uselessly, retreats into a quiet cave to lick his wounds, regain his strength, and emerge later even more powerful than before. Your practice is to commit to this rule of silence. If you are facing a recent rejection, your task is to cut off all unnecessary communication. Protect your peace and your dignity. Silence creates the space to heal. But healing is not a passive process. It requires active, deliberate reflection. A true warrior studies his defeats to become stronger. Next, we will learn how calm reflection builds true resilience. Your support helps us build this community. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Lesson 3. Calm reflection builds resilience. Imagine a master blacksmith forging a sword. He heats the metal, hammers it, and quenches it. But after this violent process, he does not immediately call the sword finished. He pauses. He holds the blade up to the light, inspecting it with a calm, critical eye. He looks for fractures, for imbalances, for imperfections. This period of calm, dispassionate reflection is where the true mastery happens. It is where he learns from the process and decides what is needed next to make the blade perfect. This is the inner conflict we face after the initial pain of rejection has subsided. We have survived the impact. Now what? The common instinct is to immediately jump back into action, to distract ourselves, to find a new person, to do anything to avoid quietly sitting with the experience. Or we do the opposite, and we get stuck in an emotional, unproductive loop of replaying the events over and over, wrapped in a blanket of self-pity or blame. The problem is that both of these paths, pure distraction and emotional rumination, prevent us from performing the most crucial step of all, extracting the wisdom from the wound. We fail to be the blacksmith who inspects his work, and so we are doomed to make the same mistakes again. The transformative solution is to create a space for calm reflection to build resilience. This is the third unbreakable habit. It is the practice of looking back at the rejection, not with the hot lens of emotion, but with the cool, clear lens of reason. The core Stoic idea here is that a wise man learns as much from his failures as from his successes. Seneca, in his nightly review, would ask himself, "What fault did I curb today? In what way am I better?" This was not an exercise in self-blame, but a rational analysis designed for self-improvement. A rejection, once the initial pain has been managed, is a priceless data set. It can teach you about your own communication style, your choice of partners, your own lingering insecurities, and your attachment to things outside your control. Calm reflection is the process of turning this raw, painful data into useful, actionable wisdom. This wisdom is the very definition of resilience. To become this reflective blacksmith, you must create a structured process for analysis. The first actionable step is to schedule a time for a rejection review. This should be done after the initial emotional storm has passed. Set aside 30 minutes with a journal. The second step is to ask a series of logical, non-emotional questions. Avoid, "Why did they do this to me?" Instead, ask, "What, if anything, was within my control in this situation that I could have handled better? Did I ignore any early warning signs or my own intuition? What does the type of person I was rejected by tell me about my own selection criteria? What weakness in myself did this rejection reveal that I now have an opportunity to strengthen?" The third step is to distill your analysis into one or two key lessons. The goal is not to create a long list of your flaws, but to identify the most important strategic takeaways for the future. The lesson is, I need to be more direct in my communication. Or, the lesson is, I must not ignore red flags out of a fear of being alone. The benefits of calm reflection are that you guarantee you will never waste a painful experience. You will transform every rejection from a simple loss into a priceless education. This practice builds true, lasting resilience, which is not the ability to avoid being knocked down, but the ability to always get up stronger and wiser than before. You will find your choices in future relationships become incredibly more intelligent and discerning because you are learning from your past. You become the master blacksmith whose every hammer blow, even the ones that seem to go wrong, ultimately serves to create a more perfect and unbreakable blade. Your practice for this week is to look back at a past rejection. Forget the emotional pain for a moment and ask yourself one question. What was the single most valuable lesson that experience was trying to teach me? Calm reflection teaches us that the pain of rejection is often tied to a mistaken belief about our own value. The next step is to build a source of worth that no can ever touch. Next, we explore the power of finding your worth beyond anyone's approval. Please like and subscribe if you are ready to learn from your past. Lesson 4. Inner worth beyond approval. Imagine a great mountain. It stands majestic, its peaks scraping the sky. It is a thing of immense inherent value. Its worth is in its solid granite, its ancient forests, its sheer, unyielding presence. Now imagine a series of travelers passing by its base. One traveler looks up and says, "That mountain is magnificent. It is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen." The next traveler looks at it and says, "It's just a pile of rocks. It's blocking the sun. I don't like it." Does the mountain change? Does the first traveler's praise make it any bigger? Does the second traveler's disapproval make it any smaller? Of course not. The mountain's worth is intrinsic. It is completely independent of the fleeting opinions of those who pass by. This is the inner conflict that makes rejection so painful. We are the mountain, but we believe we are made of clay. We believe our value is not inherent, but is granted to us by the approval of others. The problem is that when we place our sense of worth in someone else's hands, we give them the power to create or destroy us with a single word. A yes makes us feel like a mountain. A no makes us feel like a worthless pile of rocks. This externalization of our value is the root of all neediness and the source of the deep existential pain of rejection. The transformative solution is to become the mountain, to build your sense of inner worth so far beyond their approval that their acceptance or rejection becomes as irrelevant as the opinion of a passing traveler. This is the fourth unbreakable habit. It is the conscious and deliberate decision to anchor your self-esteem in the one place it can ever be truly secure: inside yourself. The core Stoic principle here is that the only true measure of a man's worth is his character, his virtue. Your worth is not in your looks, your job, your social status, or whether a particular person finds you attractive. Your worth is in your honesty, your courage, your discipline, your kindness. These are internal qualities that you control completely. When you source your worth from the integrity of your own character, you become invincible to rejection. A no from someone else can no longer be interpreted as a verdict on your value, because you are no longer asking for their verdict. You have already judged yourself based on your own actions and found yourself worthy. To build this mountain of inner worth, you must become the architect of your own self-esteem. The first actionable step is to make a list of your internal assets. This is your portfolio of character. Write down qualities you possess that you are proud of, and for each one, list a specific piece of evidence. I am resilient because I got through this difficult challenge. I am disciplined because I have been consistent with my workout routine. You are building a case for your own value, with yourself as the judge. The second step is to practice self-reliance. Deliberately take on a challenging task and see it through to completion by yourself. This proves your competence to the most important person, you. The third step is to curate your influences. Surround yourself with people who value you for your character, not for your external achievements. And read the works of philosophers like the Stoics, who constantly remind you of where true worth resides. The benefits of this practice are the development of a truly unshakable form of confidence. It is a quiet, solid, and profound self-respect that does not need to be loud, because it is not seeking validation. You will find that you can take social risks, asking someone out, speaking your mind, with a new sense of freedom, because you are detached from the outcome. The rejection may still be disappointing, but it will no longer be devastating, because it will not be a reflection on you. You become the great mountain, whose value is absolute and unchanging. The clouds of other people's opinions may pass before you, but they can never diminish the solid granite of your being. Your practice is to identify one quality of your character that you are proud of. Today, make a conscious effort to see the world through the lens of that quality, knowing it is the true source of your worth. When your worth is internal, you are no longer afraid of the rejection itself. You have the foundation to stand your ground with dignity. Next, we will explore the art of standing firm in the direct moment of rejection. If you're finding value in this, please share this video with a friend. Lesson 5. Standing firm in rejection. Imagine a Roman legionary in the heart of a battle. He is part of the famous testudo formation, his shield locked with those of his comrades, creating an impenetrable shell. An enemy arrow strikes his shield. It makes a loud thud, but it does not penetrate. The legionary does not panic. He does not drop his shield and run. He does not get angry at the archer who fired the shot. He simply absorbs the impact, trusts in his shield and his formation, and holds his position. His job is not to control the arrows flying at him, but to control his own small section of the line. His firmness is his contribution to the victory. This is the inner conflict we face in the direct moment of being rejected. The no is the arrow striking our shield. Our untrained instinct is to break formation. We might crumble in a display of neediness, questioning their decision and begging for a second chance. Or we might get angry and defensive, firing back our own verbal arrows. The problem with both of these reactions is that they are a loss of form, a breaking of the line. They are a display of weakness. They communicate that the arrow has pierced our shield and thrown our entire inner world into chaos. We lose the respect of the other person, and more importantly, we lose our own. The transformative solution is to train like the legionary, to learn the art of standing firm in rejection. This is the fifth unbreakable habit. It is the practice of absorbing the impact of the no without losing your composure, your dignity, or your form. The core Stoic principle here, the very heart of the philosophy, is the dichotomy of control. As Epictetus would remind us, the other person's decision is one of the most classic examples of something that is absolutely not within your control. You can present your case, you can be your best self, but their ultimate choice is theirs alone. To argue with it, to beg against it, or to get angry about it is a form of madness. It is as foolish as a soldier getting angry at the rain. The Stoic warrior focuses only on what he can control: his own thoughts, his own actions, and his own honorable response. Standing firm is the conscious choice to master your own small section of the line, regardless of how many arrows are flying. To cultivate this unbreakable stance, you must drill your response until it is automatic. The first actionable step is to have a prepared, dignified exit line. A simple, "Okay, I understand. Thank you for your honesty," is a response of immense power. It is polite, it accepts their reality, and it closes the conversation with your dignity intact. Memorize this phrase. The second step is to master your nonverbal signals. In the moment of rejection, your body will want to slump, your eyes will want to look down. You must consciously do the opposite. Keep your back straight, keep your head up, maintain calm, gentle eye contact. Your body language should communicate, "I have received this information and I am unshaken." The third step is to make a clean break. After delivering your dignified exit line, physically leave the situation. Do not linger. Do not hope for them to change their mind. The battle is over. An honorable warrior knows when to march off the field. The benefits of learning to stand firm are a profound preservation of your own self-respect at a moment when it is most vulnerable. You will walk away from every rejection, not with a sense of shame, but with a quiet pride in your own composure. You will find that this strength is deeply respected, even by the person who rejected you. They will remember you not as the man who crumbled or the man who got angry, but as the man who took no with unshakable grace. You become the Roman legionary, whose shield is so strong and whose position is so firm that the enemy's arrows are merely a minor annoyance, not a mortal threat. Your practice is to rehearse. Literally stand in front of a mirror and practice saying, "I understand. Thank you for your honesty," with a calm, strong, and dignified posture. Prepare for the battle. Standing firm protects our dignity in the moment. But what do we do with the pain that follows? A true warrior does not ignore his wounds. He uses them to become stronger. Next, we will learn how to honor your pain while embracing your growth. Please subscribe to Stoic Dominion to continue your training. Lesson 6. Honor pain, embrace growth. Imagine a master blacksmith forging a legendary sword. The process is one of intense violence and pain for the metal itself. It is heated to unimaginable temperatures. It is beaten repeatedly with a heavy hammer, and it is plunged into shocking cold. The sword, if it could think, would see this process as pure, agonizing torture. But the blacksmith knows that this very pain is what is transforming it from a soft, useless piece of iron into a hard, resilient, and perfectly tempered blade. The pain is not an unfortunate side effect of the process. It is the process itself. This is the inner conflict we face with the pain of rejection. We see the pain as the enemy. We see it as a purely negative, destructive force that we must avoid, numb, or get rid of as quickly as possible. We distract ourselves with work. We numb ourselves with pleasure. We do anything to not feel the fire of the forge. The problem is that by running from the pain, we are also running from the growth. We are the sword that is afraid of the fire. By refusing to feel the pain, we miss the priceless opportunity for it to burn away our weaknesses, hammer out our impurities, and temper our spirit into something truly strong. The transformative solution is to become both the blacksmith and the steel, to learn to honor the pain while you embrace the growth. This is the sixth unbreakable habit. It is the wisdom to understand that the pain of rejection is not a sign that you are broken, but a sign that you are being forged. The core Stoic idea here is that life is a workshop for the soul, and adversity is the fire that purifies character. The Stoics did not seek pain, but they were not afraid of it. They knew that a man who has never been tested, who has never endured hardship, is a man of unknown quality. The pain of rejection is a powerful teacher. It teaches us about our attachments, our insecurities, and our resilience. Honoring the pain means allowing yourself to feel it fully, without judgment. Embracing the growth means actively looking for the lesson within the pain and using it to become a better man. To engage in this transformative process, you must be a courageous student of your own suffering. The first actionable step is to allow yourself to feel. As we discussed, give yourself a set time to experience the sadness, the anger, the disappointment. Write about it. Talk about it. Do not be afraid of it. Honoring the pain is the first step to moving through it. The second step is to ask the growth-oriented question. What is this pain here to teach me? Does it teach you that you placed your worth in someone else's hands? Does it teach you that you need to be more resilient? Does it teach you that there was a flaw in your approach? Look for the lesson, not the blame. The third step is to take one action based on that lesson. If the lesson was that you need to be more self-reliant, then start a new project for yourself. If the lesson was that you need to improve your communication, then read a book on the topic. Let the pain be the catalyst for immediate, positive action. The benefits of this approach are that you will transform what could be a debilitating experience into one of the most powerful periods of growth in your life. You will develop a deep and authentic resilience. The resilience of a man who is not afraid of the fire because he knows it is what makes him stronger. You will find that you recover from setbacks much more quickly, and that you emerge from them as a better, wiser, and more formidable version of yourself. You are no longer the iron that fears the forge. You are the master blacksmith who willingly steps into the flames, knowing he will emerge as tempered steel. Your practice is to think of the pain of a recent rejection. Now ask yourself, what specific virtue is this pain inviting me to build? When you have learned the lesson and forged your new strength, there's only one direction to look: forward. A man who stands strong after rejection does not look back. He walks on with his head held high. In our final lesson, we will explore how to walk the forward path with unshakable Stoic pride. Please like this video if you are ready to embrace your growth. Lesson 7. Forward path with Stoic pride. Imagine a great ship that has just survived a battle at sea. It is scarred, its sails may be tattered, but its hull is intact and its captain is at the helm. In the distance, the ship it was fighting has sailed away. The foolish captain might try to give chase, obsessed with the ship that is now gone, or he might simply drift, mourning his damaged sails and replaying the battle in his mind. The wise, Stoic captain, however, does neither. He accepts the outcome of the battle as a fact of the past. He takes a moment to honor his crew's courage, and then he turns his eyes forward to the horizon and firmly sets a course for his original destination. He continues his journey. This is the final inner conflict after a rejection. Even after we have done all the work, managed the pain, reflected on the lessons, and solidified our worth, we can still be haunted by the ghost of what was lost. We can find ourselves checking their social media, wondering what they are doing, or comparing our progress to theirs. The problem is that every ounce of mental and emotional energy we spend looking backward is energy that is stolen from our forward path. We are the captain who is drifting, obsessed with the wake behind his ship instead of the vast open ocean that lies before him. The final, unbreakable habit is to choose the forward path with Stoic pride. This is the decision to move on, not with a sense of bitter resignation, but with a quiet, dignified pride in your own resilience and a renewed focus on your own life's mission. The core Stoic principle here is that your purpose, your telos, is your ultimate guide. A rejection is merely a storm you have weathered, a battle you have survived. It was never your destination. Your destination, your great harbor, is the pursuit of your own excellence and the fulfillment of your own potential. To stand tall after rejection means to turn your full attention back to this noble journey. Your pride is not an arrogant belief that you are too good for them. It is a quiet, internal respect for the man who was tested, who endured the pain, and who emerged stronger and wiser. It is a pride in your own resilience. To walk this forward path with pride, you must practice a forward-looking mindset. The first actionable step is to create a purpose project. This is a new, exciting, and challenging goal that is entirely for you. It could be a fitness goal, a creative project, or a new skill you want to learn. Pour the energy you once invested in the relationship into this new, productive endeavor. The second step is to practice a no-look-back policy. This means a commitment to stop checking their social media, to stop asking about them, and to stop rereading old messages. You must starve the ghost of the past of your attention. Your attention is the food that keeps it alive. The third step is to consciously celebrate your own resilience. Take a moment to genuinely acknowledge your own strength. Say to yourself, "That was incredibly difficult, and I handled it with courage and dignity. I am proud of the man I am becoming." The benefits of this final step are true and complete liberation. The rejection ceases to be a significant event in your life story and becomes just a minor chapter in your much grander epic. You will find your life filled with new opportunities and new energy because you are finally facing in the right direction. You will build a future that is so compelling and fulfilling that the past will lose all of its emotional charge. You become the great captain, his ship scarred but stronger, his eyes fixed on the golden horizon, sailing with pride toward the life of purpose and adventure he is building for himself. Your final practice is to define one exciting action you will take this week that is 100% focused on your own forward path. Rejection is not a measure of your worth. It is a measure of your resilience. It is a fire that can either consume a man or forge him into steel. By choosing to stand firm, to learn, and to walk forward with dignity, you choose to be forged. You choose the path of the Stoic. Thank you for your dedication to building an unbreakable spirit. The world will test you, but a mind fortified by these principles can never be broken. If this guide has provided you with value, please like the video, comment with the lesson that was most impactful for you, and subscribe to Stoic Dominion for more wisdom on the path to an unshakable life.